I swear. Oh my gosh, if my elbow falls off this pad one more time, I'm gonna lose it. What's going on, guys? Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. Welcome to 2 Minute Monday. This is going to be an extended 2 Minute Monday because we've got a very important topic to talk about. Yes, you saw in the title and it's not clickbait. I am legitimately saying goodbye to my old friend, the Thermarest NeoAir. It just makes me sad, but really happy at the same time because there have been some things that have taken place over the past several trips that I've been on that have caused me to reevaluate taking this pad, if it's really worth it, and how much I legitimately enjoy using it. So I've got kind of like 3 specific things that have really caused me to make a decision on to replace this. I'm not going to tell you what pad I'm replacing it with because I've already ordered a pad. You'll see in a coming video, maybe a 2 Minute Monday video of what that is. But we'll give you a little bit of backstory of how this decision came about. So for the past several trips, I have been testing and using the XPED SynMat UL. This pad has been absolutely incredible. I love it. It's been awesome, but it's not the pad that I want to replace my NeoAir with. This has been the culprit of making the decision to replace my NeoAir because of the shape of it and just a few other factors. But pretty much the only negative and real glaring negative for me with this pad is the fact these vertical baffles make my shoulders fall asleep. They don't give me the support that I really like as a side sleeper. And so I'm replacing this, I'm replacing the NeoAir and going to let friends and stuff use these pads. But the pad that I've replaced it with, I am really, really excited about. So I had been using this previously for the past several trips. And then last weekend, I headed out and I took my NeoAir with me because I wanted to save a few ounces. And when I laid on this the first night, I was like, oh my gosh, that is the smallest freaking pad in the world. And I realized that I'm sacrificing a lot of comfort to save like 5 or 6 ounces of weight. And so that is probably the biggest thing, is I realized how much more comfortable I can be on a rectangular pad. And I have actually gone and ordered a 25-inch wide pad to replace the NeoAir, which has this taper cut and everything to it. So again, I'm not going to tell you what pad I got, but I realized how much this pad causes me to be uncomfortable and toss and turn at night because I get into positions where my elbows fall off of the pad, which is super frustrating. And it's something that I've always not really liked about this pad, is that my elbows fall off and my knees fall off sometimes. And with it being so small and quilt camping, I've had issues with the quilt not being able to give me the coverage that I need because the pad is pretty small. That might seem a little backwards, but it's definitely made a difference because I've used this rectangular shaped pad from XPED with the quilt and I haven't had those issues. So I think the taper cut is something that I really don't want to pay attention to and focus on anymore. I'm going to go with a 25-inch wide pad. You hear that? Okay, that's the other reason. Now, I always fought against and thought for some reason my NeoAir was something that got into a different type of batch or they fixed it, but this thing is unbelievably noisy. I was sleeping next to my father-in-law on this trip last weekend and I was tossing and turning and I was like, oh my word, this is the noisiest pad ever. And it really is. Again, going to my XPED, I realized that this thing is not super loud and the NeoAir is like a freaking bag of chips. And the complaints and everything that I've read from people about this pad, I'm now realizing that. I kind of was in this like bubble of it's not that loud, people are just making a big deal out of it. But my goodness, it really is super loud. Now that's not the #1 reason that I am replacing this, but it is a consideration And the third thing about this is, now I've had this pad for like 7 years, guys. I have over 100 nights of use on it. It's got one hole in it in that entire period of time. I would dare say and argue that this is probably one of the best sleeping pads available on the market. Easily, hands down. But there are other competitors and newer pads, newer technology and things that are on the market, which I'm really excited about. But this valve system specifically, I just can't do this anymore. I'm so tired of blowing this thing up, being out of breath, being at 10,000 feet in some of the areas that I go backpacking and feeling like I take forever to blow up my pad. So I'm excited about a different valve system, and inflating and deflating this is a huge consideration of why I am ditching the NeoAir. So right now with it blown up, you can't really see this next item of what I want to talk about of why I'm replacing this, but it has to do with age. The fact that I've had this for about 6 years, 7 years or so, it's time to retire it because it is full of mold. When this thing is flat, and I'll show you this, when this thing is flat, it is black inside. And that's just from years and tons of time of me blowing it up, and it is full of mold on the inside. I'm surprised that it has held up as long as it has, and I haven't gotten sick from using this. Maybe that's why I have the cold that I have right now, is because of using this last weekend. Who knows? But the mold inside of here, guys, it's just time to retire it. And it's time to let it go. It's time to say goodbye. So I've purchased a new pad at this point. I ordered it yesterday, and it should be here this week, and maybe the next 2 Minute Monday video will be an introduction to this new pad that I've purchased that's replacing my baby. Oh, it's so sad. You've been good to me. You've been so good to me. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. If you use a NeoAir, let me know what you think about your NeoAir or what pad you would replace this with. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. There's other ways that you can support the channel. You can visit kivaoutdoors.com and purchase some basin bags. You could also support me on Patreon. Links down in the description of where you can find those different ways to support the channel. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and hope you have an awesome day.